We have some to the death sparring, some live jiu-jitsu action for you today. After watching, you're going to be more knowledgeable about jiu-jitsu because we are going to cover some common things that happen and you'll know what to do when you face them as well. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal. We should address the elephant in the room. See that? Not here or here, just right here.
Jesus, what happened to your face? I knew it.
He only had to tell me once, and you should see what the other guy looks like. I was really tired, you know? I was woman handling everybody before him, and I just got to this role, and, you know, had this been the first role of the day, nothing would have changed. All right, here we go. We slap hands and we start in a closed guard position. I immediately get to my feet and try to open his guard by gripping his foot. He does a good job of hanging off my head, and this is a lot of weight. Having a whole person hang off you, even though he's not that big of a dude, still felt heavy. So then I changed my approach, tried to get both knees in through his legs, and he does a good job of then taking my foot and sliding it back between his legs in order to put me back in a half guard position, preventing my full pass of him. And like with any good pass position, it's either both hands in or both hands out. If you have one hand in, then you risk getting triangled. And you can see right here, I have both hands out, underhooking his legs, trying to go for a stack pass, but he's doing a good job of using a grip as leverage to try to pull my arm between his legs. Because once my arm is between his legs, he then is very dangerously close for a triangle. And of course, this is the last roll of the day, my friends. I have no strength left, all right? He pried my arm out, and at this point, it's almost like an over-under pass. My only saving grace is to get past that foot hook that he has on my inner thigh and to pass that leg. But at this point, your girl, it's bad news blues. He uses that triangle setup to then finish with a backdoor armbar, and I tap to the armbar. Anytime that you have a triangle, you also have an armbar, just a little feedback. And also remember, both arms in or both arms out when you're trying to pass, okay? Here he is in my closed guard, and he is using posts in my armpit, very rigid post in my armpit to prevent my hips from moving. This is a very good move to use, and because those posts are so rigid and in my armpit, it's preventing my setup to do an armbar. So in this instance, he's trying to go for a knee and pass by putting his butt in his knee in my butt in order to open my guard, but I'm sorry, a little knee in my butt. So he does eventually open my guard. He's now on the top side, I believe in half guard, and now he's going for a type of choke, like most likely a guillotine, maybe an arm in guillotine. You can see I have my arm in there. So right now he's trying to go for an arm in guillotine, and I am like, F that noise. So we're gonna pull out some wrestling here. Right here is peek out. The thing about a peek out is in order for it to work, it has to be super explosive. So I go from a peek out to a double. And if you're smaller, you know, like it will work if you're very explosive with it and believe. All right, so we start again. You know, he starts rather quickly. This is the last roll of the day. He already has an arm drag, and if anybody drags your arm across their torso, they can get your back pretty freaking easily. So right now I am working to get my arm back across his torso, and the buzzer rings. No worries, we're gonna have another round, and let's take this opportunity. I mean, what move do you like the best to go to the back? The arm drag to the back is basically one of the most to the point moves, but what's your favorite way to get to the back? In fact, what's your favorite submission? Mine is definitely the triangle. I love triangles. All right, let's get back to round 2. I started in his closed guard, and he has a very high closed guard, meaning that his legs are very far up my back. This is the perfect setup opportunity. Anytime you are in somebody's closed guard and their legs are high up your back, this is the perfect opportunity to do the knee in pass position. So I put my knee in his butt as an attempt to pass him, but he's very wily, and he underhooks my leg in order to get this angle to set himself up for a backdoor armbar. I try to roll out of it. I try to clear his top leg from over my face because that's how you escape an armbar. But he has his legs, you see that? How his feet are crossed, and that prevents me from removing his leg over my head, and he completes an armbar. So we start again. He is in my closed guard, and I am pulling his head to me. This is a great MMA move. This is a great self-defense move if you are trying to prevent getting punched while somebody's in your closed guard. So I move to try to set up a Kimura grip. And then go for an omoplata, and in that instance, usually people typically just roll out of an omoplata, but he did more than that. He was a little extra. So he went from a roll to basically rolling on top of me. So he gets a side control position. So I went from almost an omoplata to getting put on the bottom of side control. So right now he's going for a side control 2 position, and I am going for a belly out escape, and I come up on a single and I drive to a double and get him with the double, and then move to do the Khabib move of stepping over his legs and doing a triangle, and then I try to back step to pass his guard. But this man has the stickiest hooks ever. It is so, if you know how to clear aggressively sticky hooks, let me know. So we move into a butterfly guard position where he has butterfly hooks in, and what the best best position in the world to be in with somebody with good sticky hooks. Yeah, let's just try butterfly guard, see how that goes for you, Crystal. So he currently has his sticky butterfly hooks in, and what I am attempting to do is I am attempting to pin one of his legs to the ground. That way I can step over it. But he uses this very interesting grip on my shoulder to block my movement, and then he uses that to sweep. But of course I am very stubborn and I am like, F that noise, I am passing your guard, sir. So right now he is searching for either a Kimura setup. He does like to do Kimuras. I think he also likes to do that Kimura grip on my arm and then use that as a setup to either do, he really likes to do omoplatas and triangles from there. So you can see this very interesting grip that he has on my arm that he then uses, he uses the leverage from the Kimura grip on my arm to then set up for an omoplata. And how you escape an omoplata is to roll out of it, but he does a very good job of putting his arm over my back in order to prohibit the rollout to defend the omoplata. I mean, why not keep on going at this point? What do you have to lose besides dignity? All right, so we go again, and we start in a closed guard again. We slap hands, he's in my closed guard, and he again uses these annoying armpit posts. And these annoying armpit posts are preventing me from moving my hips or getting anything set up. So you know what I decide to do? All right, there is like a rule of thumb, anytime you do any type of submission, or any type of joint lock, you start to see patterns. And one pattern that I've seen with a wrist lock is you have to trap the hand, you have to have the hand trapped against your body. So I was like, all right, what a perfect opportunity if his hands are in my armpit to use my armpit as the trap and then pull his elbow in and at an angle. That way it acts as like a little little wrist lock. And for wrist locking and upper belt, like I only applied enough pressure. Applied enough pressure that way he's like, okay, I guess I'll remove my hands, because if I'm gonna tap out an upper belt, okay, it's not going to be with a ouchie my wrist, okay? I'm better than that. We're better than that. So again, you know, he's thinking twice now about those armpit posts, because I basically told him with the pressure, like, I will wrist lock the shit out of you if you keep on posting in my armpits, sir. And in terms of self-defense, wrist locks do have a value in self-defense. Like if somebody's trying to play grab assy at the water cooler and you grab their hand and you twist their elbow and give them a little wrist lock, you know, it's like a little discreet, like, let's just keep this between us. If you choke them out in the middle of the office, everybody's gonna know, you know? Just a little wrist lock. Let's keep this between us. You don't have to tell anybody. All right, so let's get back to some wrestling moves. I take a wrestling class as often as I can. We have them once a week. Sometimes sometimes it goes at the same time as my advanced Muay Thai, but we have a wrestling coach. And this week, the week that this was filmed, like 2 weeks ago, that week he had showed this move called a Peterson. If you have any wrestling experience, please comment below and help me out on this. So like any move that you first learn in class, you try to do it live and it completely fails, right? So in this move, it's similar to a fat man roll. You are in the turtle position. So here I am in the turtle position. I have his wrist, and then I try to roll him by getting my elbow to the ground. That was the key that my wrestling coach had said, get the elbow to the ground. I'm thinking maybe my setup, there's something flawed in my setup, maybe my distance between my body and his body. But he was nice enough. Like I was like, hey, can I try that again? So again, elbow to the ground to try to roll him over me. But then I just end up in a mount position. For success at this move would be to roll him completely over me. So see, I changed my angle just a little bit as they are mopping the ground with the tiers of blue belts. And in that instance, it was successful, meaning I was able to roll him to his back, but at the same time, there's different movements in both wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So after I was able to roll him, I also knew I was at risk of being in a crucifix position. And in that position, they can trap your arm and you can be armbarred. So the end position from doing the Peterson is one in which I would have to quickly react and remove my arm from between his legs, because in wrestling, you actually end like that. You do the Peterson and then you basically pin them to the ground on their back using your back in that position with one of their legs underhooked. But in jiu-jitsu, if you try to do that, you're going to set yourself up to be crucified. Quite literally, right? Crucified, and like armbarred, which happened to me last night. I still have some work to do on the Peterson, probably change my body angle to theirs. One thing, getting the elbow to the ground for me made it stronger than a traditional fat man roll, which was nice. But after, I just need to make sure to get to a better position, maybe like a case of Katami position. Go ahead and subscribe if you watch more than one video and you appreciate the time and effort it takes to, of course, train and then make these videos. And yeah, let me know if you wrestle, if you've done the Peterson, if you know what I was doing wrong, because like any move that you learn and drill, like once you try it out for real, that's when, yeah, that's when it gets real. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.